Hey guys, my name is TotallyGamerJet, and today I'm doing another tutorial for Bukkit plugin. This is episode 3. This one's going to probably be a lot longer, but it's going to be definitely worth it. We're going to learn some amazing stuff. So today we're going to be learning how to make signs and how those signs change after you make them, and then make those signs clickable, and then when you click that sign, it's going to open up an inventory, and we'll add items, and you can click on those items and do special stuff. So the first thing is we have our basic main class right here. So today we're going to be using a lot of events. So I already have my package here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class, because the first thing we want to do is we're going to create a sign right class. So in this class, it's going to implement listener, of course. And so this class is going to import that, is going to detect when a sign is written or changed, in matter of fact. So we're going to do at event handler public void sign right, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to so the type is sign change event e. So there we go, and we got a lot of errors, and we can just fix that. We should probably change this to something like sign right event. Does that work? There we go. Because it was thinking it was a constructor when it wasn't. Okay. So there we go. Now we have our sign change event. So now inside this, we are going to detect when a sign is changed, and we're also going to detect when, so this method's going to be called when a sign has been changed or written. So what we're going to do is going to check, we want to know what the first line is. So if get line, and the line is going to be 0, because remember we talked about this in the last episode that all things in Java like start at 0. That is how you count: 0, 1, 2, 3, and those are the signs. So e.getLine dot equals, you can do ignore case, I'll do that, and we're going to, if it equals sign right. If it equals sign right, we're going to e.setLine 0, and we're going to set this line to say sign changed ... and then we're going to do e.set, not set canceled, dot set line and 1 complete. So there you go. I have to put that in quotes. There we go. Okay. So this is really simple. So it's just going to, when a sign is written, it's going to check if the first line equals, ignore case, sign right. If it does, it's going to set that line to the first line to sign change. So it's going to set the second one to complete. So that's really all we have to do in this class. So the next thing we have to do is go back to our main class, and we have to register this event, because it's not in our main class, so we have to register this event. To do so, we have to create a plugin manager. So plugin manager, oh my goodness, I cannot type today, manager pm equals bucket dot, so then we're going to do is pm dot register event, we want this one, and we're going to do new, and then the name of the class, right, and then over here, this, because this is the plugin, okay, and then import sign right, and there you go. So now we have imported our sign right. So now when we write these two lines will be changed. Okay, so next we are going to detect when the sign is clicked. So to do that, we're going to create a player interact class. Player interact. I hope I spelled that right. So then again, it's going to implement listener. I spell implement, let's just implements, there we go, listener. Okay, and then add event handler public void on interact, and then player interact event e. So there you go, and we're going to import all of that stuff. And now that we have our thing, we're going to detect if where the player, if the action that the player is doing is right click on blocks. So we're going to do if e.getAction dot equals action dot right click block. If it does, we're going to open a bracket and we're going to continue. So if it does, so then we're going to do if e.getBlock click block dot get state is an instance of sign, we're going to continue. So if it's an instance of a sign, so let's import sign from org.bukkit. So if it's an okay, so get state, you have to do that because you if you just get click block, it's going to, because sign isn't like a normal block, you have to get the state of it. So yeah. So then if it does, we can do sign, I don't know, sign, and how great of it names, equals e.get clicked block, if I can, dot get state. And then now we have to do cast, and there we go. So it's going to cast from get clicked block dot get state to sign. Okay, so now that we have that, we can use sign. We're in if sign dot get line 0. So the first line dot equals, we could do ignore case, but we don't have to. Equals, and if equals sign change dot dot dot. And then if it does, we're going to continue, and this is where we're going to create our inventory. So to create an inventory, we're going to do public inventory, so it's public, and then the type is inventory. Let's do sign inv equals bucket dot create inventory, and then the owner is null because there is no owner, and then the size, so we're gonna do 9, so it has to be intervals of 9, so 9, 18, 27. So yeah, so you have to do intervals of 9 because that's how each row works. So then we're also going to add another category, and this is going to be the name of the inventory. So sign there we go, inventory. There we go. So now we have our sign inv, but there's going to be no items. You're just going to, when we do p dot, oh actually we don't have a p. Whoops, let's just do e dot get player dot open inventory, and it's going to open sign inv. So right now you're just going to open the inventory and there's going to be no items. So to add items, we're going to get out of here and public void add items. So it's not going to return anything, it's just going to add the items to the inventory. So we're going to do sign inv dot set item. So the first one is the slot, so we're just going to do 0. New item stack. And then, I gotta make sure I actually, so in parentheses, we're going to do material dot gold underscore, underscore block. There we go. And then the quantity after that. So then if we just import everything, org.bukkit, there we go. So we have an error, what's this? Oh, we need to do, there we go. Okay. So now we have, it's going to, in the first slot, because I remember 0 is always the first, it's going to create a new item stack, and that item stack is going to be of the type gold block, and there's going to be 1 gold block there. So then let's add like 3 more, or 2 more. It's going to be in slot 2 and slot 4. We're going to have 3 and 5. So then let's also make these types different. Let's do diamond underscore block, just enter, and then we'll also do iron block over here. So there. So right now, it's going to open up the, just open up the inventory. It's going to be blank, so we have to run this method before we open the inventory, add items, and there we go. So now this method's going to run. It's going to add the items to the inventory. Then the player's going to open the inventory, and then they'll just be able to steal stuff because we don't actually have a way to stop them from stealing stuff. So first, before we continue any farther, we have to register some events. So let's just copy that, and we're going to change this to player interact. There we go. And then import player interact. So there we go. So now it will work. So next we have to create a new class. This class is going to be called inventory inventory click. Okay. So again, it's going to implement listener, and it's going to be at event handler public void on click, and yeah, let's just import everything. So the type is inventory click event e. There we go. And then import that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to check to make sure that the person actually clicking the inventory is a player. So if e.get get who clicked is an instance of player, we're going to continue. So then if it is, we're just going to do player p equals cast player e.get who clicked. There we go. So now we have our player. So next we have to do is we're going to have to, a lot of people would tell you to use static, and that's a bad idea. So to use classes, to use methods or types or variables in other classes, you have to either you have to get an instance of that class. So what we're going to do is to do public main plugin. So this is creating this main class or this main plugin. It's called this class main is called plugin. So now we're going to go and we're going to create a inventory click instance. So we're going to do public inventory click inv click. So there we created a new type called imclick. So now this is not gonna work because you have to actually set it to equal the inventory click class. So imclick equals new inventory click, and this, we're gonna get an error. Just ignore that for a second. So then if we go into our inventory click class, we can do private main plugin. So this is our own, we're creating a main type in this plugin. Okay, so then we're going to create a constructor. So public inventory click, it's going to require main plugin. Let me just move this back over. It's going to require main plugin, and then we're going to do this dot plugin equals plugin. So you don't really need to understand how this works. If you do, great for you, but you just need to know that it works. Okay. So now if we do if plugin dot, and then you can see we have some things. And then we can do inventory click to access this one. But we don't want to do that. We want to be able to access the player interact and get this sign. So to do that, we also have to create an instance of player interact. So I'm just going to copy this because I'm just that lazy. And then we change this to player interact. And then we're going to call this P interact. I don't know. And then we're going to copy this. P interact equals new player interact. Okay, and then we're going to create constructor. And then we're going to do private main plugin. Okay, and then in here we are going to require this dot plugin equals plugin. There we go. So now, there, we need to put this in that. Okay. Oh my goodness, what do I forget? I forgot. No, I didn't forget nothing. Oh, it's because it says me. There we go, plugin. So there you go, guys. So now you added the constructor, and you're not going to need to access plugin from this side, so you can just add an expression warning unused. So then we go to plugin dot imclick dot, or no, we want player interact. Whoops. Dot new dot p interact dot sign inventory. So now we have the sign inventory, and then we're going to do dot get name. So we're going to do if e dot get inventory dot get name dot equals, if it equals this, if it equals the other one, and we're going to continue. So there we go. So that was a lot complicated just to get the plugin, but yeah, there you go. So now we have the inventory and the checks to make sure. So if it is the inventory that we created before, and so now we're going to check. So if a person clicks the an empty slot, it's going to count as error. So we're going to make sure we don't want to count error. So if e dot get current item dot equals material dot error, it's going to, so now we're going to do doesn't equal, because we don't want it to be error. So if it doesn't equal error, we're going to continue. And we're going to send the player a message, and we're going to do not send block change. Whoops. Dot send message. You have clicked, and then we're going to do e dot get current item dot get type dot get name. Dot toString. There we go. So it's going to get the string. So now let's just go over everything. We actually have to register that event. p.register event. We have way too many things over here. We don't need all these. New inventory click, and then parentheses this, and then we're going to do this, and then we go. We have an error. Why? Events. There we go. So there we go, and it's going to register the events. Okay. So let's go over everything. So sign right. So when a sign is changed or written, it's going to get the first line. If it equals sign right, it's going to set the first and the second one to sign changed, and then it's going to set the second one to complete. Then player interact. When a player right clicks a block, it's going to get the state of that block, and it's going to see if it's an instance of sign. If it is, it's going to get the sign. Then it's going to do if the sign.getLine dot equals sign changed, it's going to add the items to the inventory from this method down here. That's going to open the inventory sign inv, which has the 9 slots and has the name sign inventory. Then inventory click. When they click on the inventory, we actually forgot to do something. e.set canceled. That way they can't steal any items. Okay, so there we go. So it's going, when they click on the inventory, it's going to make sure they're a player. Then it's going to get the player. Then it's going to get the name of the inventory that they are in, and if that equals the inventory from player interact, then it's going to continue. It's going to make sure that the item that they're clicking on is not error. It's going to get the type and send that to them, tell them what type they're clicking. So yeah, so now all you have to do is add a plugin.yml. You can delete commands because you don't need it. And yeah, just going to change it to all of this or whatever you made it. And then you're going to export it. So right click, export, next, finish, yes. Then I'm going to start up the game and meet you guys in game. Okay guys, so I'm here on the server. So now if we do sign right, sign changed complete. So there we go. Our sign is changed without us doing anything. All we have to do is write a sign. So now if you right click it, we see we have block of gold, block of diamond, and block of iron. So if you click on one of these, you can see you've clicked gold block, you've clicked diamond block, you clicked iron underscore block. So now you see we have 1, 3, and 5, and we have 1, 3, and 5. So there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully it was very helpful, and hopefully this wasn't too long and you were able to understand getting the classes. If you don't, just use it and just don't use static, because static is really bad and can cause major errors in code. So I recommend if you don't understand it, just use it correctly at least. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out later.